Hamburg and Berlin, two iconic German cities. One big question: which one really delivers? On the left, Hamburg, the gateway port city known for strong growth and fresh opportunities. On the right, Berlin, Germany's historic capital, bursting with vibrant culture and urban energy. Let's skip the stereotypes and get to the real differences. Each category scores points, and at the end you'll see exactly which city comes out on top. The result might surprise you. Okay, so here's our mind map. This is what we're gonna compare. Cost of living, housing market, employment and salaries, overall quality of life, population and demographics, housing preferences, and of course, future growth prospects. Got your preferences in mind? Let's see how each city stacks up. First up, let's talk about the cost of living. Hamburg, well, it's definitely not the cheapest place in Germany. Costs are growing and you'll feel it, especially with higher housing expenses if you want to live downtown. On the plus side though, value for things like childcare might actually surprise you. But then there's Berlin. Berlin, it's 10.4% cheaper overall, restaurant prices are lower and just living day-to-day is less of a wallet buster. Sure, housing right in the center can get pricey. Actually, it's even a bit more expensive than Hamburg downtown. But overall, Berlin wins this one for being much easier on the budget. Now, housing market, sometimes a deal breaker, right? Hamburg is on fire here. We're talking about a 13.7% rent increase just in 2024, over 8,000 new units built, and honestly it feels super balanced between supply and demand. Prices to buy are even climbing a little, so yeah, positive momentum. On the other hand, Berlin's had explosive 5-year growth in rents, like nearly 50%, and home prices jumped more over the past 5 years. And it's a big but rent increases have almost stalled lately, and prices actually dipped between 2022 and 2023. So while Berlin feels like it was hot, Hamburg is the clear winner right now if you want growth and new options. Switching gears to employment and salaries. So Hamburg brings in an average salary of over 58,000 euros, pretty solid. Plus, if you're into tech, aviation, or even wind energy, you're gonna find some super cool opportunities here. It's also this port logistics hub which, come on, sounds pretty epic. Downside, there are fewer total jobs compared to Berlin and maybe it's not as well known for startups. Berlin, of course, is the capital, so you get this massive, diverse work scene and a world-class business vibe. The startup culture? Honestly, it's kinda legendary. The flip side though, jobs are more competitive and the average salary doesn't really edge out Hamburg. So maybe unexpectedly, Hamburg nabs this one for the serious paycheck plus career potential. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know that Hamburg is Germany's second largest city and get this, added 8,319 new housing units in 2024 alone? That's a lot of cranes on the skyline. Let's chat about quality of life because really, who doesn't want to enjoy where they live? Hamburg's got this amazing score. A very high quality of life index, better healthcare, lower pollution, and stronger purchasing power. It just feels a little cleaner and healthier overall. The only thing is, safety isn't as high as you'd hope, but it's nothing wild. Berlin also scores high with a fantastic vibe, tons of culture and a similar climate, but the air's not quite as crisp and the hospitals are, well, a little lower rated. Winner here, Hamburg again. Seriously, living well just seems easier. Okay, now on to population and demographics. Hamburg's home to nearly 2 million people and it's still growing, which is pretty cool. Migration's positive and it's a little less crowded. Think about 2,300 people per square kilometer, so you've actually got space. Flip over to Berlin though and it's massive, 3.6 million, the true urban sprawl vibe. The diversity is off the charts and honestly there's just more everything. Downside, yeah, you do get some overcrowding, it's much denser, but that also means way more options. So for sheer vibrancy and amenities, Berlin wins this one. Housing preferences, kind of a toss-up. Hamburg has about 60% of its people renting and the market becoming super renter-friendly. You still get a decent mix of owners and renters, though getting on the property ladder can be tough. Berlin's like the rental city of Europe, everyone rents. Tons of options, super diverse, but if you dream of owning, oof, it's a tough climb. Honestly, both serve renters well, so we'll call this one a tie. Alright, last up, future growth prospects. Hamburg, you're looking at a real comeback kid kind of city. Housing completions are up 39% this year, construction's booming and forecasts are super optimistic. Downside, permits are dropping off a bit, so that's something to watch, but overall, the vibe is super hopeful. Berlin feels pretty mature, it's stable, it's recognized as valuable, but things are slowing, prices are steady, not much growth, maybe even a bit saturated. So no contest, Hamburg's the one to watch for future potential. So, seeing all these categories together, the strengths definitely jump out. Hamburg just keeps popping up in growth-related parts, while Berlin grabs budget and big city experience. Here's my take: if you want career momentum, strong quality of life, and you're eyeing investments in a city that's seriously expanding, Hamburg is the move. If you're all about affordable living, artsy energy, and having everything a capital city can offer, even if the housing market's chilled out a bit, Berlin's gonna have your back. It really comes down to what you want out of city life. If you found this comparison helpful, share this with someone who's figuring out their Germany move. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck with your city search.